Hello, Algebra, third period, 6, 7, and also eighth period. I'm going to run through with you some guiding points for this worksheet. I do want you guys to team up with trusted people in the class that you like to work with. And really, this is kind of what we've been doing, except it's just going to be in kind of a different look. Instead of a different worksheet we've been doing, now this is a different worksheet, obviously. We are talking about function notation today, which, as we have talked about on Monday and Tuesday, f of x is the same thing as y. So anytime that we have a letter and a letter with parentheses, it means y. So even if it is f of s, that is the same thing as y equals. We can even go down to other things here if we have any other examples on this worksheet. We see right here, if I have h of a, I also have two letters there, right? So anytime that I have two letters that are back to back and there's no numbers, it's just y. So when I have charts, okay, there's going to be an independent variable and there's going to be a dependent variable. Okay. So doesn't really matter if it doesn't say xy, it is going to be xy. And it is just inferred that as math students and in the math world, anytime you have a table, one of them is going to be x, one of them is going to be y, one of them is going to be independent variable, other one's going to be dependent variable. And then all you're going to do is if it says y equals 61, you go to the table, you see where is y 61, right there. I then go over 13 years is my x. So then 13 would be my answer right here. Okay. So function notation, I know it looks kind of weird and like, why do we use this notation? But this is just kind of a different way to express y and x in the equation land. So like I said, as you work through these questions, you're going to see right here, I see again f of x. So that's y equals 55, right? So when you use this idea, you're going to be plugging in then 55 into y, and then you're then going to set up an equation. 55 is your y, so then 55 is equal to 8s plus 15. And you would then solve for s. So I know function notation is not exactly new because we went over some problems on Monday, Tuesday, but this is just a worksheet that is going to integrate a different look of the problems with a table. We have not worked a lot with tables with functions. It's always just kind of been straightforward questions to get you guys used to function notation. Last big thing I'll say is when they do things like f of 100 or f of 11 or f of 2.5. So now we have f or any letter and a number. So it could be 2, it could be 10, it could be a half. Any number with a letter, that is going to be your x. So 2 letters, it's y. If I have a letter and a number, it means that's the x. I'm going to plug in 2 or plug in 0 or plug in 11. I'm going to plug that into the variable, which in most cases is x. Other times they may get fancy and put s or a different variable. So again, it goes back to the idea of I have two variables in math. One of them is X, one of them is Y. It's independent, dependent. Sometimes they might use a different variable to throw you off. It still means X and Y. Y is the two letters. So, last thing I'm going to say here is if we go down here to problem 3, functions with graphs, same thing. I have a letter and a number. Well, that's my X. I have 2 letters. That's going to be my Y. So down here, my Y is 2. Find the value of X. In this case, they use T. Okay. So if the Y is 2, Y is always up and down. I then go to my Y. I find 2. I then go across. What are the X values where my Y is 2? There and there. So I then see it is 1 and it is around 9.5. So I would then write 9.5, comma, I have 2 answers, 1. This one right here says, what is the Y with the given X's? So I have X of 10, I have X of 2.9. If I have my X of 2, I then go to my X of 2. I go up. What is the Y value? 4. So then 4 is my answer. The graph should be easier than the first page, because the first page you're plugging things in, you're solving an equation. These ones are just looking at the graph, looking at the table. So you guys got this. Use your teammates and figure it out. And whatever you don't understand, I will try to re-explain tomorrow. But keep up the good work, behave for the sub. And like I said, I apologize. I had some car issues today. I will be back tomorrow and make it happen. Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.